Question 2 was what? Question 2 is AI is the area bounded by this plus this. So AI is the area. AI is the area bounded by x minus AI plus mod y is equal to b. X minus AI plus mod y is equal to bi, where I is an integer, natural number. I is a natural number, where ai plus 1 is equal to ai plus 3 by 2 bi. Ai plus 1 is equal to ai plus 3 by 2 bi, and what we have is bi plus 1 is equal to bi by 2. Bi plus 1 is equal to bi by 2, and a1 is 0, b1 is 32. A1 is 0, b1 is 32. Okay, and then you have to find a3. You have to find limit n tends to infinity of ai. Okay, so you have to find a3 is equal to what? You also have to find limit n tends to infinity summation of the areas, right? Summation of the areas ai. I is equal to 1 to n ai. These two things. Okay, so before you can do anything, you need to be able to plot the graph. For plotting the graph, you need to know the value of ai and all, right? So let's start off with a1 is 0. A1 is 0, then a2 should be what? A2 should be a1 plus 3 by 2 b1, right? So 3 by 2 of b1 is 32. So this becomes 48, and a3 should be a2
72.
plus 3 by 2 b2, and a2 is 48 plus 3 by 2
16.
b2 should be 16, no? B2 is bi by 2, so b1. Okay, so b1 is this, b2 is 16, and b3 is 8, and so on. It keeps reducing by factors of 2. So 3 by 2 into 16, so this becomes 3 into 8, 3 into 8, 24, and 72. Okay, so we have a few values here. So what is a3? A3 is area bounded by x minus a3. A3 is x minus 72 plus y is equal to b3. B3 is 8, right? Area bounded by this a3. This is not a hard question. Nobody did this, huh?
I got till here now. I didn't know how to find the area.
Why? You can just plot the graphs. I mean, these are straight lines. How can it be
How
hard?
is it straight line?
These are 4 straight lines, dude. Different cases.
Oh yeah.
What is hard about it, dude? X minus 72 plus mod y is equal to 8, case 1.
Oh, x greater than 72, like that.
Huh?
Oh. Oh.
This is like, it will be a square type figure. These are just 4 straight lines. It's very simple stuff. In this case, what is the situation? X minus 72 plus y is equal to 8. So x plus y is equal to 80. So draw a line like this. This is 0 comma 80, 0 comma 80, and this is 80 comma 0. In this situation, I mean, this is trivial stuff. I don't want to do it also. Draw 4 lines, you'll get the area, right? This will be x minus 72 minus y is equal to 8. X minus y is equal to 80. So basically y is equal to x, y is equal to x minus 80. So this line will be somewhere like this, x minus 80. This is minus 80, 0 comma minus 80. This is the second line. This is the first line. Are you getting the sense? It will be this only. This is A3. Sparsh? Sparsh,
Yes,
are
sir.
you there?
Yes, sir.
So why did you not do this? All the data and all you guys, you have found Molly especially, and then how you have not found the area.
I thought we did some ellipse or something.
This is an ellipse. Huh?
I thought. I was like, why is the axis so long?
Where is the square term if it has to be an ellipse?
No, isn't this the locus of an ellipse or something?
That is when you have complex numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Complex numbers have an inherent square root inside.
My bad.
Like seriously, this is not laughing matter. This is not an ellipse, dude. This is straight line. This is very simple question. I mean, now can you find the area? It is 80, 80, you know.
Yeah.
This height is 80 and this is 160. So half into 80 into 160 and double that. This is the area.
So big.
Maybe we have made some mistake.
I think it's plus, no?
Huh?
80 plus 160 by 2.
I was doing area of a triangle, but maybe I have made some mistake in the numbers. Wait. What is my answer? 80 into 160 is coming for me. So first, why are we getting 72? Correct. Okay, this length is clearly, this is 80, 80, this is 80 root 2, no? Why is it 80? Is there some mistake there? X minus 72 plus y is equal to 8. 72 was correct, no?
Yeah.
72 was correct, the data. 3 by 2 bi. A2 is 48, A3 is 72, B3 is okay. It seems right only. So these are all squares, so area should be so big only, nothing you can do about it. So this is a square, 80 root 2, every side is 80 root 2. So area should be 6400 into 2, 12800. So
The options have like hundreds and all.
I think they mean some other value. 1 second. Oh wait, AI is the area bounded by x minus a1 and all. So A3 is being asked, then A3 is the area bounded by x minus A3, no? The A3 is quite large, so it will be big only. It cannot be, if A3 value is 72, then our calculations are correct. Maybe there is some mistake in the sense that he wants some smaller area, but he's asking instead a bigger one. The value of A3 is 72, no? So it cannot be, our thing is not wrong. The graph is correct. If you go for say A2 would have been x minus A2. A2 was what?
48.
X minus 48 plus
Y.
plus y is equal to B2 plus y is equal to 16, right?
Yeah.
So that would have come, the first area there would have come x plus y is equal to 64, right? So now here you would have gotten 64, 64 and 64 root 2 into
64 root 2
so 64 square
into 2.
into 2, and there it was 80 square into 2. So areas are diminishing. The next one
They're
would be
becoming bigger.
the area A2 becomes smaller than, it is becoming bigger and bigger, right? Okay, so it feels like there is some tiny error either in the question or something. The areas are becoming bigger and bigger, no? Okay. Something is slightly weird about it. But the basic idea is, wait 1 second. Oh wait, I think I've made a mistake. Yeah. I think I made a mistake here. In the graph. 1 second. X minus 72 plus y is equal to 8. This means if x is greater than 72, then that graph is that. Oh, okay. There is a slight error. This is like shifting the graph to the right side at 72, no?
Yeah.
The origin is at 72, 0, right? And there it is a graph of x dash plus y dash is equal to 8, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So this is like, if you shift the origin from 0, 0 to 72, 0, right? There it is a graph of this thing, new coordinates, right? So there it will be a square like this, 8 units, right? Everyone has seen that this graph is a square like that. No, now do you recall that this, you would have seen somewhere in your coaching books?
Yes.
This graph. So it is a graph centered at 72. So our graph was wrong. That's why it was coming weird. Now see the 8, 8 is coming, making sense. No, 8, 8, and this becomes 8 root 2, right? So 128 is the area of this A3, right? And if it was A2, it was centered at some 64, no? No. It was something different, no? A2 was what?
48.
48, yeah. So it was centered at 48 plus y was equal to
16.
16. So this one was slightly bigger now, but it was at 48, 0, right? Correct? Centered at 48, 0, but bigger graph, right? Correct? And notice that they are joining together. 48 plus 16 is 64, and 72 minus 8 is this way. You are understanding what is happening?
Yes, sir.
So this is 16, 16, and this is 16 root 2. The area here was 512. So now areas are diminishing, right? It is a set of squares which are like that. So first area, let's do x minus centered at 0, 0. So A1 or something, right? A1 was what?
A1 is
0, I think.
Yeah.
A1 is 0. So x minus 0 plus y was equal to B1. What was that? B1 32. So the first area was a very big one, 32, 32, right? This was 32 root 2. So this area was 32 square into 2. The next one became 16 square into 2, right?
Yeah.
And the next one became 8 square into 2, right? So all the AIs are clearly varying in a diminishing sequence, right?
Yeah.
You can write a common difference and common ratio and all for that. So it's a GP. Sum of I1 to infinity AI, right, is equal to 2 common. This is 32 square plus 16 square plus 8 square and so on, right? And if you take Okay, so we can start off by this. The difference is basically 32 into 32 by 16 into 16 is how much? 2 into 2, 4, right? Common ratio is 4, right? Common ratio is 4. So 32 squared by a by 1 minus r, right? First term is this. Common ratio is 4. Common ratio should be less than 1. 1 by 4 is the common ratio. 32 square by 1 minus 1 by 4, right? So this becomes 2 into 32 square by 3 by 4. So 8 by 3 into 32 square, right?
Yeah.
That should be the sum of the areas, correct? So that is option C. A and C are right. You understand? So the mistake there was in the plotting of the graph. Like I had made a mistake, I was rushing. But here, what you have to do is you have to think of it as a version of this graph. And if you have instead of this x minus a plus y minus b, that just means you have shifted your origin, no?
To A comma B, no?
To a comma b, you have gone away to a comma b. So it's the same graph in a new axis. Area doesn't change after shifting the origin.
Yeah.
First, are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question 43.
So I just did it. अभी बैठ के करा.
I mean,
Is it BC?
are you listening to the class or are you doing questions and while I'm
No,
talking?
I was listening.
BC is
Same.
right. So what was difficult that you don't do it in the exam, dude?
I don't know. Everything wanted to do.
43 is a vector question. It's obvious. I'm not going to do it. BC, you have already gotten. Molly, you can also get it. It's not very hard.
Yeah.
I don't know
After
why.
BC?
Why didn't you do 43 in the exam? Did you try?
Who?
You.
For me. Yeah, I tried it.
What happened? Just have to keep doing it.
I think I made a mistake in the middle.
You have done some calculation mistake. It is not hard at all.
Yeah.
44. 44 is a calculus question. So 44, let's discuss. Fx is defined for x is greater than equal to 0. Fx is defined for x greater than equal to 0 and has a continuous derivative. Basically, f dash x is continuous. It satisfies f of 0 is 1, f dash 0 is 0. F of 0 is 1, f dash 0 is 0. And 1 plus fx into f double dash x is equal to 1 plus x. 1 plus fx whole multiplied by f double dash x is equal to 1 plus x. Then the values f1 cannot take is r. Values that f1 cannot take is r. Okay. So, okay. You have to try to guess a set of values for f of 1 and from there you will get the answer. So you have got a lot of information. Function is defined for positive x. F dash x is continuous. F of 0 is 1. F dash 0 is 0. Okay. And this thing also you have. So try it now if you haven't tried it already.
I will try to find f of x.
However you want to do it, you have to do something. I don't know what you will do. I have not thought about it. 1 plus x defined for f dash x is continuous. continuous. Derivative is continuous. F of 0 is 1. And slope is 0. F of 0 is 1. Function starts from here. First derivative is 0 here. So slope is almost 0. Starts like this. Either it goes up after that or it goes down after that. F of 0 is 1. F of 0 is 1. Okay, this is 1. Okay, so what we have here is 1 plus x is positive because x is positive, and
मतलब 1 plus fx will also be positive.
why?
No, it won't be. Any.
This is positive means this whole thing is positive. So that means that this could be positive positive or it could be negative negative. F double dash x, could it be negative? It could be a concave down curve or a concave up curve. If it is a concave up curve, then
fx is for f1
uh,
is positive.
then 1 plus fx is positive. That means, okay,
That
near,
means that the
oh wait,
graph from 1 will go up only, no?
near this value, f of 0 is 1, right?
Yeah.
And fx is continuous because derivative is defined, right? So near this value, 1 plus fx is positive from the positive side, right?
Yeah.
Because fx is itself positive near 0, right? But it has to approach 1. So it is an so that means that this is stuck to positive. It cannot be negative, right? So that means that graph is going up, concave up from here. Concave up from here. At least in the vicinity it is going up. So that much we know. Then 1 plus fx is going to be, so it is an increasing graph now. F dash double dash x is positive. That means f dash x is increasing, right? And f dash x is increasing now. F double dash f dash 0 was 0 and f dash x is increasing. So it will keep increasing. It will keep going up, right? So now we know some stuff now. So basically what will happen now is that f dash x is greater than 0 for f dash x is greater than 0 for x greater than 0. This we have figured out from the concave up nature, and because f dash x is increasing and initial value is 0. So now, okay, so now let's look at, we have to find out finally values of f of 1, right? So values of f of 1, we have to find some sense of that. So one plus fx can we estimate the value of it? See, f0 is 1, so since any higher value fx is increasing, right? Fx is increasing, therefore at any higher value f of x is going to be greater than f of 0 because x is greater than 0, right?
Yeah.
So f of x is greater than equal to 1 because f of 0 is 1, right? So 1 plus fx will be greater than 2, right? Right? Because function is increasing right now upward. and f of 0 value was 1. So 1 plus fx will be greater than 2. No? 1 plus x, I am saying basically that 1 plus fx will always be greater than 1 plus f0 because fx is greater than f0 because function is increasing, right? So that will be equal to 2. So now we have a relationship that 1 plus fx is greater than equal to 2. So this whole thing is greater than equal to, we have 1 plus fx into f double dash x is equal to 1 plus x. So we have 1 plus x is equal to this, but that is greater than 2 times f double dash x, right? Correct? Makes sense because 2 I am replacing this, right? So we
Yeah.
have f double dash x is less than 1 plus x by 2.
Wait, sir, I don't understand what you did.
What is there to not understand here? I am saying 1 plus fx is greater than 2.
No, sir, not this step, sir. Uske pehle, sir. So where we prove that fx is always bigger than f0. That we did because it is always going upwards.
It is concave up. So it is an increasing function, no?
Okay.
So fx will be always greater than f0, any fx. So we have this relationship now. So then now we can integrate this directly. We can say that f dash x will be less than integrate it with respect to x. So this will be x by 2 plus
Square by 4.
x square by 4 plus c, right? Correct? Correct, no?
Yeah.
What? We just took a dx term, I see. Okay.
Matlab, you cannot integrate both sides.
But we should do with, like, there has some dx term, no? Then we can think of it. Like, if we do integration of f dash x,
Can you say this? Then integral of x dx will be less than integral of x square dx. Can you say this?
yes.
What am I doing here?
But we can't say that f double dash x ka integral is called f dash x, no?
What will it be with respect to x if I am integrating?
Okay, fine.
No, give me some alternative. No, f double dash x को integrate करने पे क्या आना चाहिए?
Wait, take it, fine. This.
Okay.
So, like, if we integrate f double dash x with respect to f dash x, only then we can say it's equal to f dash x, no?
What is the meaning of f double dash x to?
It's a differential of f dash x.
With
It's
respect to what?
dx के साथ.
So what am I doing now? Integral with respect to dx क्या होगा उसका?
Okay, fine.
क्या आ रहा है?
F dash x only.
मतलब if the variable is x only and I'm integrating and differentiating, then they are not opposites of each other.
Fine, sir.
Like after all this time, if you ask me things like this, then it's like a little sad. Okay.
Sir, can we find like the minimum value of f dash x?
Minimum value of f dash x.
Like we found the maximum that it can be, right?
F dash x is less than something we are getting right now.
Yeah, we like the other sign that f dash is greater than something.
Why do you want that?
then we can find no that if like we can say that the slope will be between those two values only. Then if the slope is like the least, then what is the value at f1? Then if it is
From
at
this also you can find that. No, what is the problem with this?
yeah, so when you put like x is equal to 1, you get f dash x is lesser than 3 by 4.
From here you will get something like that. Yeah, 3 by 4 or something.
So then if the
4 by
slope
3 you will get.
of x is coming as 7 by 4.
Oh, here we are saying we are integrating between, suppose we did it a little more carefully, and 1 second. Suppose we integrated properly from, okay, what is this? Suppose we integrated this properly from 0 to x dx, this one, from 0 to x of 1 plus x by 2. If you do that, you will get f dash x minus f dash 0, right? Is
Yeah.
less than, you will get x by 2 plus x squared by 4, right? So then you will get basically f dash x is less than f dash 0 plus x by 2 plus x squared by 4, right?
Yeah.
And then do one more integration from 0 to x, right? So you'll get less than f dash 0 into x.
F dash 0 is 0.
So that is anyway gone. So x squared by 4 plus x cubed by 12 from 0 to x. So that is the value. So you get this one becomes f of x minus f of 0, right? Is less than this thing, right? So what we are getting is basically f of x is less than f of 0 plus x squared by 4 plus x cubed by 12, right? So this is 1 plus x cubed by 12.
Yeah.
So this is a nice inequality, no? From here f of 1 ka we have gotten an upper value, less than 1 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 12. So this becomes 3 plus 1 4. So 4 by 3, no? This value is 4 by 3 because 1 by 3 comes, no? 1 by 4 plus 1 by 12 is 1 by 3. 1 by 3 plus 1, 4 by 3. So f of 1 has to be always less than 4 by 3. And now you can start checking options, which one is correct. See, 4 by 3 is 1.33. Every option is above 1.33.
So every option is not possible.
Answer is ABCD.
Answer is ABC.
D.
ABCD.
So basically the whole question was about figuring out that the function goes up like this because 1 plus fx into f double dash x was equal to something. What was given? Was equal to 1 plus x, and 1 plus x was positive. So this could be positive or it could be negative, but we realized that because the graph was near 0, the slope was 0, slope of f dash x was 0, and from this side, when you come here this side, the value was 1. So fx was positive. And we figured out that so this part is always going to be positive. This part near 0 is always positive. So this part near 0 must be also be positive because the right hand side is positive, right? So that told us that f double dash x is positive near 0. Positive near 0 from the right hand side. That means it is concave up. If it is concave up, then f dash x is increasing. So it is going to be a shape like this. So that told us that fx values are increasing like this. So 1 plus fx is greater than equal to 1 plus f0, which is equal to 2. So 1 plus fx is always greater than 2. Once you have that, you can use it in the same inequality to get f double dash x is equal to 1 plus x by 1 plus fx, and this value is greater than 2. So f double dash x is less than equal to 1 plus x by 2. Once we got this, we were just doing integrations 2 times. From 0 to x, f double dash x dx should be less than 0 to x 1 plus x by 2, and then once more. And you will get a condition on fx is less than, it was coming as 1 plus x squared by 4 plus x cubed by 12. So slightly complicated question, but I mean, this is slightly difficult one. If you didn't get it in the exam, it's fine, but the logic is this. Everyone has understood?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
If you have fx is less than equal to gx, we already know that definite integral and all will be lesser and lesser. There are inequalities. If a function is completely below, area will be lesser. That is what we are using in this step. We got an inequality and got some inequality, got an inequality on the function's derivatives, and we used it to get an inequality on the function. Okay.
Yes.
Then next one, a and b are unit vectors, then possible integers in the range of this. Okay, this 45 people tried, no? Oh yeah, this both of you did something and got half.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will not discuss it. Answer is BCD 45. Try it again. Sparsh got D and Molly got BC. So 45 I'm not discussing. This can be done. You guys can do it. 46. Let's discuss 46. 46 is basically if f of k is equal to summation of r is equal to 1 to k 1 by r, and r is equal to 1 to k 1 by r, and what else do you have? You have summation of r is equal to 1 to 2017 f of r. R is equal to 1 to 2017 f of r is equal to a times f of b plus c. A times f of b plus c. So then what you have to do is get some conditions on a, b, and c. Options are b is equal to c. Second option is a minus b is equal to 1. Third option is b plus c is equal to 0. B plus c is equal to 0. Last option is a plus c is equal to 0. Okay, so let's try to think about this. Okay, so f of k is coming as what? F of k is basically summation of 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 till 1 by k. Okay, and summation of all such from 1 to 2017. This statement says that f of 1 plus f of 2 plus f of 2017 is equal to a times f of b plus c. So somehow we have to express it as a sum of one particular function value. and some numbers multiplied with it. Those A, B, C, we have to get some conditions from. Okay. Okay. So okay, so if I do the direct addition, Molly, are you there? If I try to do this direct addition, what will happen?
It becomes like 2017 by 1 plus like 2016 by 2.5.
So basically I will add up all the terms. So it should be 2017. Oh, okay. Okay. So I will just do the addition. Wait, let's see how to do it. F of 1 is what? 1, no? F of 2 is 1 plus half. F of 3 is 1 plus half plus 1 by 3, and so on. F of 2017 is 1 plus half plus 1 by 3 plus so on plus 1 by 2017, right? So if you do a vertical addition of this, the summation of the f of i's from 1 to 2017 should be equal to, how many ones are there? 2017. Do a vertical addition. There are 2017 ones, no? So 2017 into 1 plus, how many halves are there? 2016 into half plus 2015 into 1 by 3 and so on. And there is only one this term, right? 1 into 1 by 2017, right? This is the summation, correct?
Yeah.
Now we have to try to simplify this somehow and make it look like one particular term like that, right? One particular function value. So one. Huh?
So don't go to the next page.
2017 into 1 plus, this can be written as 2017 minus 1 into half, and this can be written as 2017 minus 2 into 1 by 3, and so on. Last term will be written as 2017 minus 2016 into 1 by 2017, right? So now I will go to the next page.
Wait. So please wait 1 second. So 1 second.
You can say that 2017 into 1, 2017 into half. There is one f of term that is coming. F of 2017 is coming. The first terms of each of them, right? And there are some minus half, minus 2 by 3 and all that is coming, right? So when you do the summation becomes equal to 2017 into 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus so on till 1 by 2017 minus, there is, the second term was I think half.
Yes, sir.
And the second bracket after that was 2 by 3, I think.
1 by 3.
No, there was 2017 minus 2 into 1 by 3.
Sir, how is the last term 1 by 2017?
See, the earlier thing was what? Earlier thing, let's write again.
The last term was 2017 minus 2016 by 2017.
This was the thing. 2017
minus 1 by 2.
Minus 1 into half plus 2017 minus 2 into 1 by 3 plus 2017 minus 2016 into, so clearly I can take common, no, this and this.
Oh, sorry. Okay, fine.
I'm taking the first terms here.
Okay.
First terms, when I'm taking common, I'm getting this. Second terms from here onwards I'm getting minus half, minus 2 by 3, minus 3 by 4. Finally it will be plus 2016 by 2017, right?
I can do like it now. It's fine now. It's easy.
Yeah. So this is 1 minus half, 1 minus 1 by 3, 1 minus 1 by 4, right? So it is minus 1 minus half plus 1 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 minus 1 by 4 plus so on plus 1 minus 1 by 2017, right? So how many such terms are there? There are 2016 terms here. There are 2016 ones. So we have a minus 2016 plus
1/2 and all that. That comes
half
away.
plus 1 by
2018
3
10.
plus 1 by 4 plus till 1 by 2017, right? Right.
Yeah.
So we have, this is basically f of 2017 minus 1, right? This part.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
is minus 2016 plus this,
Yeah.
and this part is 2017 into f of 2017, right?
Yeah.
So the thing becomes 2018 f of 2017 minus 2017 is the summation. A times f of b plus c was written no earlier. A times f of b plus c. So a is equal to 2018, b is equal to 2017, c is equal to minus 2017. So b plus c is 0, and you can check all the options. B is equal, B plus C is 0, A minus B is 1, A minus B is 1, and B plus C is 0. These are the two options that are correct. So this is just about patiently doing it. Once you have written stuff, then it will start happening. I mean, you have to write it and think of how you can simplify it and make it one function.
You watch the answer again?
Doesn't matter.
I know, but I want to write it.
Okay, 1 second. BC. BC, A minus B is 1 and B plus C is 0. Okay. Then the next one, nobody tried, huh? 47. Just because it looks scary, nobody tried anything. Sparsh, you didn't try, no?
No.
Just because how it looks, right?
Yes.
Great. 47. If, this is an easy question only. If alpha theta belongs to, alpha is a function of theta belongs to real, and beta theta, theta belongs to real minus this, theta belongs to real minus 2n pi minus pi by 2, n is an integer, pi minus pi by 2, n belongs to integer. Then these are functions, alpha and beta are functions satisfying, alpha and beta are functions satisfying some equations. So 1 plus x into sine square theta, 1 plus x into sine square theta, minus 1 plus x square into sine theta, plus x minus x square plus x minus x square is equal to 0. Then which of the following are correct? And which of the following are correct? So I'll not write the options, we'll just think about what it means. alpha and beta are functions satisfying for what values? For x. It's a quadratic in x. You have to solve the quadratic equation, that's it. It's so simple. You have to collect all the x terms, x square terms. The x square terms are becoming x square minus sine theta and minus 1. X terms are x sine square theta and plus 1, and constant terms are plus sine square theta minus sine theta. This is my quadratic in x. Alpha and beta satisfy this quadratic, so x should be equal to minus b plus minus b square. B square is this square, 1 plus sine square theta whole square, minus minus minus, so this becomes plus, so plus 4 times 1 plus sine theta into sine square theta minus sine theta by 2 times a, 2 times minus sine theta minus 1. So this can be simplified. This will become sine theta minus sine theta common, 1 minus sine theta. So minus sine theta common, and this whole thing becomes 1 plus sine theta into 1 minus sine theta, so cos square theta. And there is a 4, and this becomes 1 plus sine power 4 theta plus 2 sine square theta, and this is this. So this becomes plus 2 sine square theta. Okay. 1 minus sine square theta was coming, no, minus sine theta. Okay, so I'll just write it like minus 4 sine theta into 1 minus sine square theta plus 1 plus sine 4 theta plus 2 sine square theta. So it becomes plus 4 sine cube theta minus 4 sine theta plus sine 4 theta. Some mistake I made here. 1 second. Feel like I made some mistake somewhere. 1 second. Okay, maybe I should simplify this a little first. We have x square minus x 1 plus sine square theta by 1 plus sine theta plus sine theta sine square theta minus sine theta by minus 1 plus sine theta is equal to 0. So this becomes sine theta minus sine square theta. Sine theta minus sine square theta. You have an equation like x square minus x into 1 plus sine square theta by 1 plus sine theta plus sine theta minus sine square theta by 1 plus sine theta is equal to 0. This is my equation. Can we just immediately say the roots instead of trying to solve it? Sum of the roots is this, product of the roots is this. So oh wait, this sine theta can be taken common here. Sine theta can be taken common, no? Yeah. Okay, I think I'm getting it. X square minus x, you had 1 plus sine square theta by 1 plus sine theta plus sine theta into 1 minus sine theta by 1 plus sine theta is equal to 0. Now this is my quadratic, and alpha and beta, if these are alpha and beta, let's check if alpha plus beta is what? Alpha plus beta is equal to sine theta, suppose, plus 1 minus sine theta by 1 plus cos sine theta. So this becomes sine theta plus sine square theta plus 1 minus sine theta by 1 plus sine theta, which perfectly matches this. So this is alpha plus beta. So alpha and beta could be just sine theta and 1 minus sine theta by 1 plus sine theta. So I can immediately see that alpha is sine theta and beta is this, because beta was the one with the 2n pi minus pi by 2 restriction. Beta theta could not lie between could not be this. So now I get alpha is equal to sine theta and beta is equal to 1 minus sine theta by 1 plus sine theta. And now it is checking options. The super easy options it will be now. You can limit option is slightly tricky, but you can do it now. Sine theta to the power 1 by sine theta plus limit option theta tends to 0 plus theta tends to 0 plus one option is alpha theta to the power 1 plus sine theta. So sine theta to the power 1 by sine theta and plus beta theta to the power 1 by sine theta plus 1 minus sine theta by 1 plus sine theta to the power 1 by sine theta. You have to find this limit. So this part 1 by sine theta tends to infinity. So it is 1 to the power infinity, this one, right?
Yes, sir.
1 to the power infinity it is coming. So you can express it as 1 plus something 0 to the power infinity. So that can be written as 1 plus sine theta minus 2 sine theta, right? So the 0 function is minus 2 sine theta by 1 plus sine theta, right? 1 plus this to the power, right? This is my thing, no?
Yes, sir.
So the answer will be e power this into this. So that will become e power minus 2 by 1 plus sine theta, limit as theta tends to 0. E power minus 2 is the limit of this part. E power minus 2 is the limit of this part. And let's find this also. This is right now it is 0 to the power infinity. So 1 plus sine theta minus 1 or okay, 0 to the power infinity. So it is tending to 0, no? This is tending to 0 no matter what high power you put, it will tend to 0. So answer is 1 by e square. This is itself tending to 0. It is not 1 to the power infinity, it is 0 to the power infinity. So this will tend to 0. And this will be 1 by e square. So answer of the first option is 1 by e square. So that is matching. One of the options is coming. Then you can go on to the other options. Other options are comparatively easier than the first one. All the options are correct. Here the answer is ABCD. You should check out each of the options now. The whole question was basically not getting scared of that initial thing and just seeing that they are functions satisfying a quadratic. You can solve the quadratic. If you solve the quadratic, you will get the function only. There's nothing very difficult about it if you can solve the quadratic.
Sir,
Huh?
sir, like, won't this take too much of my time?
हाँ तो तुम टाइम का तो बहुत यूज किए हो 3 क्वेश्चंस बना लिए थे too much of your time मतलब anyway you're getting 3 in 1 hour. This will take 5 minutes and you'll get 4 marks. That is not good enough क्या
Okay, fine. Good enough.
मतलब जो क्वेश्चन बन रहा है वो भी नहीं बनाओगे. Won't this take too much of my time? Because otherwise you are solving so many, right? तो छोड़ दो अपना, छोड़ के चलो आओ फिर। नेक्स्ट वन, anybody tried the matrix question?
Yes, I did it. I got it.
48th one you got?
Yes, sir.
48th is ABC
Yes.
is the answer. Okay, so I'll not discuss that. 48. Let's go to the paragraph. Paragraph questions, which ones did you guys do?
I did paragraph 2 only.
Okay. Molly? Which ones have you attempted paragraph? ABCD is a rectangle. Paragraph 1. Nobody tried paragraph 1. Huh?
Huh? Paragraph? No.
Why?
Well, it looked long.
Did you draw the figure while you were trying?
Yeah.
You didn't get any ideas?
No.
ABCD is a rectangle with AB is equal to A and BC is equal to B. It's a rectangle. Circle is drawn passing through A and B, touching side CD. Circle passes through A and B and touches side CD. Okay. And then another circle is drawn passing through B and C and touching side AD. B and C, B and C and touching side AD. Okay. So this doesn't look like a circle, but 1 second. Make it bigger. So the parabola, the square should look closer to the rectangle should look very close to a square, I think. If the figure has to make sense, it is very close to a square. So A, B, C, D, and you have circle touching side CD and passing through AB. And you have another circle through BC, through B and C and touching side AD. Through B and C and touching side AD. Somewhat like this. It's not coming nicely in the figure, but let's ignore that for now. Like this. Through B and C. And then R1 and R2 are the radii of these two circles. R1 and R2 are the radii of these two circles. Okay. So you have to figure out R1 by R2. Okay. So let's just focus on one circle. Let's just focus on the top circle that we had drawn. And radii. So let's say this is the center of this circle, R1. So this is also R1. This is also R1. This side is A, this side is B. This is the center, O. So this figure is making sense. No, you have to find ratio of R1 and R2, minimum value of R1 plus R2. The circle touches the side here and it cuts or passes through A and B. Okay. So is the figure making sense? right?
Yes, sir.
So if this distance, let's call this distance x1, then this distance will be b minus x1. This is x1, this is b minus x1. Okay, then okay, so let's say this meets it at some point p, then this
So why do
should,
you think b minus x1? Isn't that equal to r? No, like
because this
b
is
minus,
b.
isn't that r only?
I am introducing some new variables so I can write Pythagoras theorem and stuff. So this is a by 2 and this is a by 2 because these two triangles will be congruent, and a by 2 and x, I get a relation a by 2 x and r1, and I should also get a relation on this. Yeah, wait, so let me just think of what relations. First relation is r1 square is equal to, I will just write that r1 square is equal to a square by 4 plus
x1 square.
x1 square is equal to also b minus x1 whole square. So that immediately gives me a quadratic. That's it. It should be done by now. This is a quadratic. A square by 4 plus x1 square is equal to b square plus x1 square minus 2b x1. So I should get x1 square will cancel, and it is b square minus 2b x1 minus a square by 4 is equal to 0. This is one equation. So x1 is not even a quadratic, it's directly over. 2bx1 is equal to 2bx
A square plus 4b square by 4.
b square minus a square by 4, 4b square minus a square by 4.
By
So
8ab. 8b.
4b square minus a square by 8b. So r1 is equal to b minus x1. So it's equal to b minus 4b square minus a square by 8b. 8b square minus 4b square, so 4b square plus a square by 8b is equal to r1. I'm guessing the symmetry of the situation, this is on side A and side B. If I draw the same situation from this side, r2 should become 4a square plus b square by 8a. Same thing, a and b are interchanged.
So I may don't erase it.
This is just simple Pythagoras theorem and it's over.
Yeah.
R1 is coming as this, R2 will come as 4a square plus b square by 8a. R1 by R2 will become 4b square plus a square by 4a square plus b square, and by b either and by a by b. This is my thing. R1 by R2 is a by b into this, and R1 plus R2. When you add R1 plus R2, it will become AMGM or something like that, I think. R1 plus R2, if you add, what will happen? You multiply that one by a, so 4ab square plus a cube, and this one by b, 4a square b plus b cube by 8ab. R1 plus R2 comes like that. So a cube plus b cube plus 4ab into a plus b. So you have r1 plus r2 is equal to a cube plus b cube plus 4ab into a plus b by 8ab. Okay, you have to find some minimum stuff, no, minimum value of r1 plus r2 you have to find. So okay, so this a cube plus b cube I can write as a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square plus 4ab into a plus b by 8ab. So r1 plus r2 becomes equal to a plus b common. This becomes a square plus 3ab plus b square. So that is a plus b whole square plus ab. So basically this is a plus b whole cube plus ab into a plus b by 8ab. Okay, that I could have written in the beginning only. Okay, so I will keep it like this only. Keep it like this by 8ab, and what I can say here is that this can be written as a plus b into a minus b whole square plus 5ab by 8ab, and you have to say minimum value. So minimum value a minus b whole square is greater than or equal to 0. So the whole thing should be greater than or equal to a plus b into 5ab by 8ab. So equal to 5 by 8a plus b. The whole thing is greater than or equal to 5 by 8a plus b. That is one of the options. This was equal to this, r1 plus r2 was equal to this, basically this. And you can say that this is perfect square, is greater than or equal to 5ab by 8ab. The question was very simple. If you draw the figure and draw the circles once and note your stuff like this, this is some radius, this is the same radius, and this is the same radius, r1, and this one will be some x, and this one will be b minus x, and this one will be a by 2, because triangles are congruent. And then it's one Pythagoras theorem and writing that r1 is also b minus x. That gives you immediately x. X comes, and if x comes, then b minus x is equal to r1. r1 comes. Once r1 comes, r2 will be exactly same, because there's no difference between that setting and setting on the side. So r1 and r2 come, and that's it. Sparsh, are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
51 and 52 are not so hard, I think. 51 and 52, you could 51, so you could even check by putting options,
Yes.
which is what most of you have done, I'm guessing.
No, I did it properly.
Okay. 51 and 52 you can try yourself. 52 you got, no, someone got A, no? No, someone did not get A. Okay. So if fx is equal to a power x, then you can put a power x and simplify it a little bit, no? Oh, then it is a very simple differential equation, dude. 52. 51, if everyone has got y is equal to a power x, and 52, the differential equation is super easy. How did you not get it? dy by dx.
Separate the terms.
dy by dx is equal to log a fx. So x plus y square, right?
Yeah.
Whole square.
Oh, it's a whole square. X plus y whole square
By
by
plus 2.
x plus 2 into y minus 2.
Mhm.
This is a standard question, dude. You can write this as x plus 2 plus y minus 2 and take x plus 2 as v and this as u.
Down will try.
Before and all, you wouldn't tell us.
Huh, what?
Before and all, you wouldn't tell all this.
Before matlab?
Before means before we are doing the exam, you wouldn't tell that you have to do like this.
How can I tell you in the before the exam?
You should have.
I have already discussed this is a standard procedure. This is the y is equal to x plus h and y. This is a standard trick, no, in differential equations. X plus shifting the origin.
Yes, sir.
This we have already discussed in class. Don't say that we have not told you this before. Instead of in x and y, you are doing x plus h and y plus k. I have also forgotten, but when I see it obviously set up like this, then obviously you'll do it, no? So nicely it is given plus 2 and minus 2. And on top there is an x plus y. Obviously I'll add 2 and minus 2. After this, the question is over. Okay. Okay. So then there are subjectives. Subjectives, question 153, nobody did.
I found one route.
One root. Huh?
I could find one route.
Same. I found only one route.
53, for example, px is equal to x6 minus x5 minus x3. Px is equal to x6 minus x5 minus x cube. क्या है फिर minus x square minus x and alpha, beta, gamma and delta are roots of qx. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta are roots of qx is equal to x power 4 minus x cube minus x square minus 1. 4 minus x cube minus x square minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. Then what do you have to do? P alpha plus p beta plus p gamma plus p delta. P alpha. This is also a standard question, standard trick. Okay. Why don't you see? These are roots of q, no? Right? Do you know that q alpha, q beta, q delta, q gamma are 0?
Yes.
So why can't you write px in terms of qx and make it very easy? Can you write px in terms of qx? Just divide it.
Wait, I didn't understand.
Px is equal to x square into this.
Yeah, it doesn't come exactly.
तो नहीं आ रहा exactly, तो थोड़ा remainder है ना. What is the big deal there? How much has come? x6 has come, x5 has come, x cube has come, and x square has come, right?
So there's a 1 by x term.
No, I'm not doing the entire thing. I'm saying this much is there. How many terms are matched?
First 4.
First
No.
4 terms are matched, right? First 4 are again, na?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's it, minus x, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is not q of x. That's what I'm saying.
How is this not q of x?
You say x square.
To put an x square.
Then it becomes now 4. That is not there in u.
Great.
It's already tried.
Oh, wow. There is a plus minus x power 4. I will add a x power 4. And what is the left term?
Wait, why is that not q? What's the difference?
Make
Yes,
it q, make it q. You have to use q. And
yes.
x square से करो तो क्या क्या आ रहा है, बस you have to match it up. What is left now? Just tell me. X6 minus x5 has come. Two terms are done. Minus x4, that was not there, so I have added a plus x4. Minus x square is there. Minus x square is there. And x3 is not there, right?
And x is not there.
X3 and x is not there, so I have to add a minus x3 and minus x.
Yes.
Now I will make another q here. X4 minus x cube minus x square minus 1 and plus x square plus 1 minus x, right?
Okay.
I will make another q here, no, because this is 4th degree.
Mad.
What mad? This is obvious stuff.
No, like, it's too good. So
Yeah,
I
just-
couldn't ever do this.
We are dividing. This is not too good. If I want to do, I can do it like this. Find the remainder. Polynomial division आता है 7th standard से.
Yes, sir.
So that only I'm doing. Because if I put the values of alpha, beta, these disappear directly, no?
Correct.
So basically I'm saying my px is equal to x square plus
1.
px is equal to x square plus 1 into qx plus x square minus x plus 1. This is the thing. So
So where's the x square? Achha, yeah, correct.
px is this. So after that, p alpha is just alpha square minus alpha plus 1. P beta is just beta square minus beta plus 1. And after that, it is simple because you know what to do with alpha plus beta plus gamma plus delta and all from here. When you add up all of this, you have to do sum of squares of alphas minus sum of the terms plus 4, right? That is the answer. So sum of squares will be sum of the whole square minus 2 times double products minus single sum plus 4. So single sum is what? Sum of the roots is 1. Sum of the roots is 1. So this is 1. 1 square is 1. And 2 at a time product is minus plus. So it is minus 1. So this is minus 1. So plus 2. And 1 at a time is 1. 1 plus 2 minus 1. The answer is 6.
Wait, sir.
Mhm.
So like when we found that on the top में आपने लिखा है alpha square minus alpha plus 4 full up.
Mm-hmm.
So sir, then what did you do? Then just found the values of those.
It is. If you have to find sum of squares of roots of an equation, how will you do it?
Fine.
ये क्या है? Alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square plus delta square. That is equal to alpha plus beta plus gamma plus delta whole square minus 2 times products at 2 at a time, no?
Yes.
So that is what I am writing here. Summation of alpha whole square minus 2 times 2 at a time product. So that is all available from this equation, no?
Yes. Sir.
So all of these basic terms and all you can immediately find from this equation. All you had to do was express the higher degree equation in terms of the lower degree equation whose roots you know. So basically divide it. If you don't know how to write it like this, then just divide it. You can divide it, no? You'll get some quotient in remainder. What I am saying is qx can be written as px into some function of x plus some remainder of x. All you need to care about is finding the remainder, because this part will disappear because this has roots alpha, beta, gamma. The remainder in this case came as x square minus x plus 1. Okay. Next one. Next one, nobody tried, no? Probability that log 10 4x. Okay, actually what I would do is, why don't you try these questions again? Nobody has properly tried it. जो भी बचा हुआ है 54 to 60, try once more, find the answers. Try once more with the intention that I will solve it, not that, oh, I will just give up. You have to solve it yourself. These are not some unsolvable questions. These have been asked in a test. You have to solve it. There is no point in doing easy stuff, guys. You have to increase your level. There are very little time left. You have to get to the next level. So make sure that you are trying to solve it and figuring it out finally. Like, cannot give up. You have to try. And next week's test, I expect slightly more marks. Make sure your revision is complete, and I will either use a Allen test or a Fitji test. So it will be either from an Allen or a Fitji test. So we'll see. But you can also attempt the physics and chemistry sections of this. I can tell you the marks. I can share the answer key and all later. You should try the chemistry and physics sections. It is good to know early on what your weaknesses are, where you're struggling and all. It will be hard to correct it later. So right now you have to try and get to this level. Make sure that you're working hard on that. Don't do easy things. Try 53 onwards to 60. Tell me the answers on Thursday. Thursday class, before the class, tell me the answers from 53 to 60. Okay.
Yeah.
Next week, again, there will be a full syllabus test. So your full syllabus revision should happen. And Sparsh, this 11th standard stuff, like, you cannot be like, I don't know anything in 11th. You have to do it. Prepare properly. Okay. Yeah, that's it for now then. Please try these questions before Thursday. Thursday we'll continue. We'll probably start probability, but before that we will discuss these questions if there is any doubts left.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hmm.